This little girl keeps playing by kicking Flavia's chair. Flavia turns around and asks the girl's mother to scold her so that she won't do it anymore, but the girl doesn't stop and her mother doesn't listen to Flavia. Flavia scolds the girl, and at that moment the mother notices and asks what Flavia wants, then tells her daughter to be quiet. Flavia says that the girl is kicking her chair and asks if Marcel doesn't see that she is pregnant. Marcel says there's not much she can do because the girl is just a child and it's normal for her to do that. However, Flavia says that it's not right. Marcel asks if Flavia is insinuating that she is a terrible mother. Flavia says that this was not what she meant. Marcel asks if that's what she understood, that just because Flavia is pregnant, she wants to give lessons on how to raise her daughter. She goes on to say that while Flavia is on her way, she's already been there and back 3 times, and that Flavia better stay quiet because it's because of this behavior that nobody likes pregnant women. Flavia asks if that's really what she said, but Marcel confirms and says that just because Flavia is pregnant, she thinks she's the center of attention, but everyone there has problems, and just because she's pregnant doesn't mean she'll get any special treatment. Yasmin asks her mother for juice, but her mother says she already told her she would only get it at home. Yasmin throws a tantrum, and her mother gives in. Marcel then says that Flavia caused this, but Flavia tells her to let it go. At this moment, Yasmin deliberately spills some juice on Flavia. Flavia asks why she did that as it made her all wet. Marcel laughs a lot and supports her daughter, saying that's what Flavia gets for being nosy. Flavia says that Yasmin is very rude, just like her mother. Marcel stands up and tells Flavia that she can't ruin her daughter's day, or she'll have a huge problem with her. She also tells Flavia to think very carefully before speaking to her daughter like that. However, Flavia says that Marcel is to blame for her daughter being a complete brat. Marcel asks if that's really what she said and goes after Flavia. The two start fighting. Marcel grabs Flavia's hair, and they start hitting each other, pulling hair with the intention of really hurting each other. The bus driver asks them to calm down and stop fighting, even stepping in to separate them. He asks if they think this is a market or a fair to be yelling and fighting like that, but it's not a ring. Flavia explains that Marcel and Yasmin are bothering her too much. But Marcel tells the driver that Flavia is lying because she's the one bothering her and her daughter on the bus. Flavia protests, saying they're the ones being bothersome and aggressive towards her. The driver says it doesn't matter who started it, both of them must get off the bus now. Flavia can't believe it. The people on the bus cheer the driver's decision, while Marcel starts arguing with the other passengers, saying they are wrong to be happy about this. All the passengers tell the two to get off the bus quickly. Marcel says she's already getting off, so the two actually get off the bus. The passengers hurry them along, telling them to get off the bus quickly because no one can stand their fighting anymore. At this moment, while the two are already off the bus, people start throwing trash at Marcel. She gets very angry and says they will pay for this. Marcel asks Flavia if she is happy with what she did and hopes that she is not late for her job interview. Flavia says to forget all of this and that each should go their own way. Marcel says Flavia is lucky she is not aggressive, or she would be in big trouble. Finally, Marcel leaves with her daughter. Flavia tries to call someone, but her cell phone dies, and she laments about how bad her day is. Flavia hears Marcel asking someone to come pick her up at the corner of the terminal. So, Flavia apologizes for bothering her, but explains that her phone's battery died and asks if Marcel could lend her phone because she really needs to call a taxi. Marcel obviously says no, reminding her that she said they should each go their own way. Flavia acknowledges this, but insists she really needs it. Marcel almost gives in, but Yasmin takes the phone back, and Marcel apologizes and says she won't lend it after all because she can't deny her children anything. Flavia insists, saying she really needs it and asks nicely. Marcel takes the phone back from her daughter and answers a call, saying she's going downtown and asking not to be kept waiting. Flavia says she's also going downtown and asks if she can get a ride, offering to share the cost of gas. Marcel agrees and signals to the driver. She takes her daughter to the back seat. Yasmin gets in the car and her mother goes to the front seat. Yasmin gets comfortable in the back seat, stretching her legs. She even laughs at Flavia. Flavia asks her to move just a little so she can get in. Yasmin says no. Marcel asks her to close the door so they can leave. Yasmin gets up and slams the door in Marcel's face, and Flavia says they can go now. Yasmin mocks Flavia. They leave and abandon Flavia in the middle of the street. At this moment, Marcel asks Yasmin to stop jumping on the couch. Yasmin says no because she is playing. Marcel asks her to let her get ready. Yasmin says she looks like a clown. Marcel says it's because she never sits still and asks her to leave. At this moment, Yasmin bumps into Flavia. Yasmin calls for her mother. Marcel asks what happened and is surprised to see Flavia again, asking if she is being followed. Flavia says she is just going to work. Marcel bets that she is the cleaner at that place because it suits her. She says the place needs a good cleaning. Flavia says Marcel has something dirty on her mouth, implying that Marcel's daughter spilled juice there. Marcel tells her to clean it, but Flavia says she is not the cleaner there. Marcel asks Flavia to tell her boss that she is there for an interview and to hurry up because she has her daughter with her. Flavia says she will inform him, and Marcel tells her daughter to calm down. Flavia says that the boss is calling. Marcel tells her daughter to stay quiet as she will be back soon. Marcel asks Flavia to bring her a coffee without sugar, then asks if Flavia heard her and if she will just stand there. Flavia sits in the chair and says they will start the interview. Marcel is surprised, and Flavia reveals that she is the human resources manager of the company. Marcel apologizes, thinking it would be a man. Flavia says it's her. Marcel apologizes for her and her daughter's behavior, saying she didn't know Flavia was the manager. Flavia says that behavior is unacceptable, whether she was the manager or not. Marcel explains that she is a single mother and her daughter is a handful because her father is not present. Marcel was very anxious about this interview and asks for forgiveness. Flavia says that doesn't justify Yasmin kicking her and spilling juice on her blouse. Marcel asks for another chance, promising that Flavia would be proud if she got to know her better. Flavia regrets, but finds her behavior unacceptable. When she starts to talk about the job, Marcel interrupts, saying she already knows what she is going to say and asks for forgiveness. Flavia asks her to wait and sit again as she needs to talk more. Marcel apologizes again. Flavia says she can imagine how hard it is to be a single mother but feels like the worst person in the world if she doesn't give her the job. However, she complains about her behavior. Marcel admits it was unacceptable and Flavia says she will give her some time to get her life together, and when Marcel feels ready, she can come to Flavia for the job. Marcel thanks her, saying she won't disappoint Flavia. Flavia then says she will walk her to the exit. At this moment, Marcel finds Yasmin making a mess and throwing a tantrum about wanting to leave. Yasmin says she wants to leave. Marcel says she will take her home and asks what she thinks about doing her homework first and then going to the park. Yasmin asks if they will really go to the park, and Marcel says yes, but Yasmin reminds her that she doesn't like the park and finds it boring. Marcel admits she said that, but says things will be different now and she will spend more time with her daughter. Yasmin asks if she will really spend time with her. Marcel says she will listen more, give more affection, and even asks what Yasmin wants to do now. Yasmin says she always wanted to take dance classes. Marcel says she will definitely find a dance school for her and asks her to get ready to go out. In short, raising children requires care, attention, presence, and above all, lots of love.